This is an Android tablet with a pretty unique display, so you probably want to watch this. Hey guys, I'm a happy owner of Remarkable 2 device. This is a digital notebook and I absolutely love it. And why am I talking about Remarkable in display? Well, that's gonna be very clear very soon. But the star of today's video is this. This is Eyemoo. At least I think this is how you pronounce this, because they have two O's with those accents on it and I have no idea. That's gonna be very difficult to Google, that's for sure. Now, this device is a part of the Kickstarter campaign and it comes with RLCD display. And I know what you're doing right now. You are Googling RLCD because that's exactly what I did when they sent me a pitch about this device, because, hey, I wanted to know, what am I dealing with? Now I know. Remarkable 2, it's a great digital notebook, but it's a terrible tablet. And if you want to know why I love it so much and why it's a terrible tablet, there's a video for you. But both devices, Remarkable and Eyemoo, are trying something new. So the main question I'm going to answer in this video is bringing RLCD to an Android tablet a really good idea? You probably cannot buy it just yet, but if you want to see the progress of the campaign, go to the video description, click on the link, and it'll tell you all about it, where you could expect a device like this available to be shipped to your home. As I'm privileged to take it out, my unboxing experience was, well, unique to say the least. Everything arrived in a plain white box with absolutely no markings and nothing inside. I was super surprised because I was expecting proper packaging. I guess they're still working on that. I promptly opened the device to quickly discover that I have a tablet, and that's okay, because to be honest, I have so many chargers that I actually am one of these people that I appreciate devices being shipped without charging bricks, because how many more do I need? Anyway, that is not important. What's important is that actually in the touch the device feels, well, quite wonderful. It's cold in the hands, which means it's made out of metal and it's stylishly designed. I like the corners, I like the actual thickness, and the bezel is just thick enough to prevent you from accidentally touching the touchscreen. So far so good. In terms of I/O, you've got USB Type-C port, which is a truly USB 2.0 port for data transfer, but you can also use OTG functions to plug in the microphone or headphones, etc. You have a typical for Android devices volume and power, and that's pretty much it. Obviously you do have a stereo speakers and microphone, and in front you have a selfie camera, and at the back there is something that is called AI camera, which comes with a flash and 13 megapixel mark on it. We're going to be testing the camera as well, but I'm not holding my breath because it's a tablet, and tablets are famous for having not so good camera. I know in advance that this device is going to be priced around $500. And how much hardware does the $500 get you? Actually, if I was to pitch the specification of Eyemoo, then it kind of plays itself as a kind of mid-range Samsung Galaxy Tab. And the price is comparable, so you're only paying a couple of dollars extra for that RLCD display, which we're going to be talking in a moment. Now, specification-wise, what do you get? You get 5 megapixel camera in front and 13 megapixel camera at the back. The display is 1600 by 1200, so very respectable, and this is RLCD. To drive all of this, you've got an 8-core CPU with 2 gigs for 2 cores and 1.8 gigs for the remaining cores. And that's supported by the Mali GS2 MC2 graphics, which is going to be good enough for gaming. And to complement the entire setup, we have generous 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of non-expandable storage. To connect to various services, we have Bluetooth 5.0 alongside a Wi-Fi that supports the bands 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz. That's plenty, although AX is not supported, so no Wi-Fi 6. That's okay, because we still have GPS inside and 6000 mAh battery. So as I said, it strikes a good balance between a mid-tier tablet and its price. So it is kind of like Galaxy Tab. Or is it S6 Lite? Yeah, something very similar, slightly better and tiny little bit more expensive. I know I'm skirting around the topic of the RLCD display, but bear with me, we're going to talk about the battery first, which is seriously impressive. Because it is a 6000 milliamps battery. It's not a massive battery, but it's not small either. And in a standby, you're going to have about 3 weeks of time on this. And in a playtime, well, that's going to be equally impressive because the reflective LCD technology. That's going to save you a lot of juice, providing you don't use the backlight. What is the R in RLCD? Well, as it turns out, it stands for reflective, because instead of having traditional LCD panel spliced between a screen protector and touch screen and the backlight from the other side, we have RLCD display, which is sandwiched between the screen protector and the touch screen and obviously, well, the backlight display. So what has changed? Well, the new thing is a thin film behind the LCD layer which reflects light, which means the more light you provide to this tablet, the brighter it is. Yes, that means you can use it in a full sunshine without any issues. And the experience of that is bizarre. A typical example of the reflective display is e-ink technology, in which this particular device doesn't really have any backlight and it uses external light to show you what's on the display. Now, our LCD, it's the hybrid. It provides you with a backlight, so you could watch it at night and still enjoy the content, but also uses LCD display to display color and assure high refresh rate. There are some trade-offs to this technology. First, you have a limited palette of colors, limited to 1,600,000. It is plenty. However, what's so special about the colors? Because of the reflective film underneath the LCD display, all the colors are very high in contrast, and also they have this very metallic kind of holographic tint to it. And while it works great for bright colors, the darker colors, well, they don't look that good, to be honest. But even in a direct sunshine, the tablet is perfectly readable as long as you can manage the glare from the sun. And if you want to watch it at night, it comes equipped with a backlight and then it acts like, well, relatively normal LCD display. I was quite impressed with my Remarkable device, which, to be honest, I use quite a bit and I still have to charge it maybe once every 2 weeks and everything is alright, but I'm getting very similar results from Eyemoo device. Granted, if you're using backlight, that battery is going to drain quicker, but without that, the device is going to last days actually displaying things, and that's pretty insane, because all you have to support really is just a radio for wireless communication and Android system in the background. So hold on a second, if everything is so good as I claim, does it make sense to put our LCD display into a tablet? And here comes the big question, because I actually don't know. It makes perfect sense to add e-ink display to a digital notebook like Remarkable, because you're not really concerned about the functionality of a tablet and you are getting really good value from the e-ink display, really good usability and interesting device. A device that isn't a tablet and it's not competing with tablets, it's competing with just regular notebooks. So it's definitely better. However, Eyemoo has an Android device. And to be fair, a stock Android device, which means it is going to compete against other Android tablets. So the question they have to answer, and you'll have to answer yourself, what do you want from a tablet? The average customer wants a bigger display, which means they're gonna care about the display size, the display quality, and how they interact with the entire web of applications and the internet. Eyemoo believes that using our LCD display will provide you with comfort and reduce eye strain and all those really nice things that makes us uncomfortable in front of the big screens. However, there is a problem with that, because instead of buying Eyemoo device, you could just turn down the brightness a bit and have a similar comfort levels, right? There is no doubt about it. If you're going to take Eyemoo tablet to the beach, you'll have a brilliant browsing experience because there is plenty of light and everything's going to be readable. And with any other tablet, it's not going to be even close to being that great. But you'll also have to ask yourself a question: would you really read a tablet on the beach while there is a nice sand and the sea and lots of friends playing volleyball? Yeah, there is a very fine line between designing a device that caters to a niche, for something like Remarkable, which doesn't care about the tablet users, they just want to capture that market that really appreciate note-taking. But with Eyemoo, well, they will compete against tablets, and yes, me and you will have to answer the question: is RLCD enough to keep you satisfied, or would you rather have a more traditional, for example, OLED display and pay premium price for that? Now that you know where you stand in regards to the display, let's talk about the tablet and whether it's actually good as a tablet. In my usage, I actually was enjoying myself. It's snappy, everything opens quick, and the Android 12, which is loaded on the device, comes with surprisingly little of bloatware. That's always nice to see. The microphone is passable, the stereo speakers are actually very loud, which is good. However, they are tablet speakers, so don't expect any heavy bass on it. They are passable for YouTube videos, but probably for films you're gonna connect some headphones. And the touchscreen, well, it's quite responsive, even with the factory-fitted screen protector, which by default I hate. I didn't peel it off because it's glued well. I'm gonna do it later after this review, just in case I mess up. So far, the experience is so good. Now, let's talk about the cameras. Now, selfie camera is a 5 megapixels camera, which is just passable for pretty much everything you would use the camera like this. You can have your Zoom call, video call with your friends, etc. But don't expect amazing results. It's just there to serve you a specific purpose. Right, this is a video sample, so it's a beautiful sunset actually behind me. And some cars, which is great for noise cancellation. You're gonna see that. You're gonna see about that in a second. Swapping things out to the main camera shooter, the 13 megapixel AI camera with a flash. I don't know what AI stands for, I haven't noticed anything, especially that the camera interface is slightly bare. You are limited in video mode to 1080p at 30 frames per second, and the camera takes okay pictures. I mean, it's a tablet, and like I said before in this review already, tablets and cameras are just, for some reason, nobody cares. I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the device that you're going to take on holidays to take pictures. I mean, that's just obscene. To validate the processor and the graphics, I decided also to try a couple of games, and we're going to play my favorite games. So let's start with Don't Starve, which is a great representative for casual gaming. Obviously, casual games will have absolutely no problem running on it, so yeah, I had a blast. Everything looks okay on this particular game, but one thing to notice, while you have no problems with the refresh rate, that contrast, especially on the darker games, which I'm gonna show you in a second, might cause a bit of problem. Switching over to Minecraft, I was wondering how well it's gonna handle it, and to be fair, everything was very smooth. Even when I increased the chunks loadings distance to 16 chunks, the device was holding it well together, and yeah, if you want to play some Minecraft, go for it. And lastly, the game was XCOM Enemy Unknown, because it's one of the better games on tablets due to the bigger screen size and the mobile interface. I had a blast, however, I have to say that especially on dark maps, the contrast and the color reproduction was making things slightly more difficult. So the overall theme for this device is, if your game happens during the daytime, you'll have a great time. I rhymed this. Okay, that's gonna stay in the edit. So in conclusion, on one side we have Eyemoo, which is a decent mid-range tablet at reasonable price, but comes with RLCD display. And here's what I'm thinking. When people are selecting tablets, they do care about the screen size and the screen in general. So why not to make an RLCD phone? Because let's face it, if you're going to watch the videos or something, you're probably going to sit in a bed at home, and this is where you would appreciate a really nice display. However, when you're out and about and you're looking for your mobile phone and trying to use it in a direct sunlight, and you are constantly aware how much battery that screen time is gonna eat you, then maybe using RLCD technology on a mobile device would be a much better choice. I hope that's gonna be the next Eyemoo device. So it's an interesting device and it deserves your attention. If you are interested, head to the description of this video, you're gonna find all the information where to find the Eyemoo and how to back the Kickstarter. As for now guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think about RLCD technology, where would you like to see panels like that, and what other applications you would, and what other advantage and what other features would you like to see on tablets in particular? As for now guys, you know I do not have a posting schedule, you know how YouTube works, not going to explain you that. I have a couple of social media listed down below as well, so if you want to start a conversation with me, follow me there, and let's start talking. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!